Hey guys, Kurt from Time Machine Transport and my boy Clyde. What's up, Bubba? Right turn, Clyde. He loves going with his daddy. Anyways, sorry for my messy truck. I got a bunch of stuff in there going in my rig. So I just got done with my accountant, and my accountant is Palestinian. If you guys are in trucking and you want a really, really awesome accountant, because there's not a lot of places that do truckers taxes, give me a call, 414-477-7845. Again, that's Kurt, 414-477-7845. I can give you our guy Newman's number. Yeah, I know, Newman, Palestinian. Anyways, but I was driving and I'm like, you know what? Got a little ways to get back to Kenosha, Wisconsin. His place is in Milwaukee. And Clyde and I were talking. Yeah, Clyde does talk. He does. He talks. Just not on camera. He's camera shy. And he said, Daddy, you should do a video on foreigners. So I was listening to this guy's video, young black man. I won't say his channel because he was blaming immigrants, and didn't really say foreigners, but he alluded to foreigners and how they're the reason the trucking industry is going to shit. Guys, come on. That's just, I want to do this video because I have relied on foreigners and immigrants, and my family are immigrants, right? Pretty much everybody, unless you're Native American, everybody in the United States is immigrants, minus Native Americans. So this guy was talking about, these guys, these illegal immigrants, they come here to work, and then their visas run out, and they're the reason why the rates are so bad. And guys, we got to stop this, man. The reason why the rates are bad is because truckers, not foreigners, not immigrants, truckers don't stick together. Stop blaming everybody else but ourselves that we're the reason why they're able to keep these rates the way they are, because we don't band together, right? So Clyde was saying, he's like, yeah, it was kind of ignorant, Daddy, that, blaming immigrants and foreigners. So I was locked up for about 5 months. I won't talk about everything unless my court stuff's not over. It wasn't fraud, or it was serious charges. But one of my cellies was or is El Salvadorian, and he came over to the United States illegally. He caught that death train, and he was very emotional when he told me the story. His brother and his sister-in-law came to the United States illegally, and so he had gotten all the way to the U.S. border, and then a coyote took him over the border. So the coyote had him and the coyote's girlfriend, Jose, and like 3 or 4 other males. And his name's Jose, and he was telling me how bad it was on this train, like women getting sexually assaulted, kids getting abducted, being robbed, no food, no water. And I know it's risk and reward, right? I'm not saying that I feel sorry for him. It's very heroic how these people endure, this stuff coming over. And so then when he got to, the coyote took him over the border, they ended up getting to a stash house, and it was like 2-3 o'clock in the morning, and they hadn't eaten or anything, and the coyote's like, him and his girlfriend are going to go get something to eat. Not for them, but just for him and his girlfriend. And so they left, and he told the other guys, he's like, I still owe money to the coyote, and so did they. And he's like, I'm leaving, man. I'm starving, blah blah blah. So his brother and sister-in-law lived in California, or still do live in California. They are currently legal now. And he told me that he ended up leaving the house. The other guys wouldn't leave the house for repercussions to their family. So he went ahead and look at that little buddy. He's just a lover. So he just left, and he didn't know where he was. He just knew he was in Arizona, and he's got family in Phoenix as well, or friends in Phoenix, or I think it was his brother's friend or his sister-in-law's friends. They lived in Phoenix, so they were supposed to come get him from the Coyote and pay the balance. So he left just on a risk, you know. I mean, roll the dice, right? Like I did in my other video. Roll the dice. Every day you're rolling the dice. So the other guy's like, no way. He spoke no English, had no money, no food, no water, and he's walking down this dark street, and he comes upon a gas station, and there's another Spanish man in there, a Mexican man, whatever, getting fuel, and the guy sees Jose walking down the street, and he's like, compa, this is like compadre. He's like, compa, you need some food or something? He knew his situation, he could tell. And he's like, oh, so he lent Jose his phone to call his family, and then he took him to a store, bought him new clothes, or bought him clothes, gave him something to eat, some water, so on and so on. And the rest is history. So now Jose's legal, his wife is legal, they have children here, they have a home, he drives semi. It's a very, very touching truth. I don't like to say stories, because you know, when you tell somebody a story, it's like a kid's fairy tale, right? But let me tell you a story. So I like to say truths. Anyways, and I also have another brother, Jose Gonzalez. He stood up at my wedding. He's like a brother to me. Actually, he is my brother. And he came across illegally as well. And now him and his wife are both legal for several years. I met him when I was a general contractor. I had 15 guys and 3 trucks. So I'm not proud of it, but I had, probably out of 15 guys, the guy had like 8 or 9 of them were illegals. Anyways,
new text message from Tom Truck Country.
I would encourage them to become legal, and Jose eventually went and got legal. His wife, so they have a house. He's got a small, successful construction company. His wife's a successful realtor, and I'm very proud of him. I remember when he first told me when he got his citizenship, man, he was crying. He was just so happy. And then the guy that actually took a chance on me, and I drove one of his trucks, his name's Dimitri. He's from Russia. So these people that bag on foreigners, man, so the trucking industry wants to blame somebody, not ourselves. They won't say, oh, you know what, it's our fault. We shouldn't, we should band together and we can control this market and this industry, but they won't. The truckers find it very easy to point the finger. It's just like if you're coming up onto a backed up traffic scene, they want to blame some dumbass for causing an accident. They want to blame some dumbass for doing this. They want to blame truckers want to point the finger all the time. I own it, man. I'm a man. So this young black man, especially being a young black man, with the racism and everything else, I thought it was kind of gross that he would blame foreigners and immigrants for, tearing this industry apart. Well, the trucking industry years ago, I think in the 80s or 90s, was shit as well, like this, because of the economy. And whose fault was it then? Whose fault was it then? Was it the immigrants and the current immigrants and the current foreigners? No. So the fact of the matter is, this guy doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. And don't get me wrong, I've said some harsh things about foreigners as well. And if everybody, well, I don't know for a fact, it's my opinion, but I'm sure there's a large percentage of all mixed races that have bagged or dogged on other races, whether intentionally or accidentally, whatever the case is. We've all done it, whether you're black, white, Hispanic, whatever, Asian, it doesn't matter. You have dogged on other races, and I will put a large bet on it that a large percentage of people have dogged on other cultures. It's very gross, right? So this guy, he's talking about this and that, and I'm just like, dude, why are you blaming? I mean, can't we all just get along, right? Isn't that what Rodney King said? But yeah, man, I think it's very immigrant, and people just judge it. I mean, the only one that can judge is God. And, being a Christian myself, I've had issues myself where I got an attitude when it comes to this and attitude when it comes to that, and there's the but, right? I try to watch my tongue, and I try to do the right thing, man. I really do. We should all just love one another. So my wife and I watched this movie the other night, the Jesus Revolution, right? It's on Netflix. Really good movie. It's based on a true story about the hippies and stuff in the 60s and 70s and how they started this big Jesus revolution across the whole country. And it was very heartfelt, man. It was a good movie. If you guys ever get a chance, you should watch it. And it's not like a Bible thumper movie or something like that. I mean, it's got some. It's actually quite funny. So it's very sad that other human beings are dogging on other human beings. We don't know, and if you're an immigrant or a foreigner or an American, black guy, white guy, Hispanic, whatever, Asian, it doesn't matter. If you're taking cheap freight, shame on you. Shame on you. Have I ever taken cheap freight? Sure, many years ago, when I wasn't keen on everything in the trucking industry. Now, absolutely not. I'll deadhead 900 and some miles to go back home, start fresh. We don't know other people's situations. Maybe their wife is ill or their husband's ill. Maybe their parents are living with them and they're ill. Maybe their kids are ill. They got to put food on the table. I'm not agreeing with them. If you take cheap freight, you are going to be in that truck all the time. And that's your punishment because you have to keep running. You got to do 2 or 3 loads to make up for one. I just won't do it. And it's not that I hold myself on a different level. I don't. I'm smart to it now. Don't take cheap freight. And if these truck drivers are going to talk about all these other guys and gals taking cheap freight, then band together. But they won't. They'll just blame and bitch and moan and everything else. And the thing is these ignorant people that are either ignorant or uneducated or just don't know, or they want to create rumors. Oh, these foreigners, when they come over, the government gives them $75,000 and they live tax-free for 10. That's not true, man. That's not true. The reason, if you see these immigrants and these foreigners, they live in their trucks. Because that's their culture. That's what they were raised to do. Work. And that's what they do, right? And so what happens is when they come from overseas, they live with and I know this because I have Palestinian friends, Jew friends, El Salvadorian, Asian. I got a lot of friends, and I'm very blessed. But what happens is when they come over from their country, they live with their family for free. They live for free, and they work, and they live for free.
New text message from 86018.
And here's another thing. So,
new text message from 86018.
I hate that shit, man, when somebody just keeps texting me. It's like Jose's brother, the Jose I was in the cell with. He told me that his brother told him, because he knew no English, had no money, and his brother said, listen, we're going to bring you to California, and you are going to find a job immediately. You're going to learn English. And you're only going to be living with us for a month. And he was like, holy shit. And that's exactly what happened. So you talk about other people, like, my family would never do that. They wouldn't. My brother's fucking homeless right now. I think he is. I actually blocked him from my phone after him just going off at the mouth. But, they Americans, it's like, they'll let their people live with them, whatever, and not work, but not Jose's El Salvadorian, and my other brother Jose, he's Mexican. But they had to work, man. They had to work, and I admire that. I applaud that. If you want to be in this country, why would you not want to be in the United States of America, man? It is the best country in the world. I fought for this country. I was a foreigner in other countries. I was stationed in Vicenza, Italy, in an airborne unit. We were called the ABCT, the Airborne Battalion Combat Team. I've been all over. We were part of NATO, so we jumped in everywhere. I mean, I've been in Germany, Austria, Switzerland, France, Belgium, Spain, England, Iraq, Turkey. I've been all over the place. So I've been a foreigner in other countries. And it is very intimidating, and it's scary. I'm not going to lie. You don't know the culture. You don't know the language. You don't know the monetary system. I mean, thank goodness I was there as an American training. But, these people, they just roll the dice and haphazardly just go into an area for a better life. Why would you not encourage another human being to live a better life, man? I mean, I don't agree with this administration. I don't agree with the open borders. I believe if you do come over, you should do it the legal way, like my two brothers, Jose and Jose, did. Do it the right way. But don't sit there and smash on people because they're foreigners or immigrants in the United States of America. Just don't do it. It's not right, man. It's not right. I don't agree with everything. I don't think that it's, I love this country, but I do not love our government. I do not trust our government, but I love this country. And the fact of the matter is, if we were all to get along, everybody, blacks, whites, Hispanics, Asian, foreigners, whatever, we would be one fist, right? Like that old Queen Latifah song, U-N-I-T-Y. U-N-I-T-Y, that spells unity. Yeah, but we won't. And the thing is that fist would be so powerful that we would run it. We would run this country. We would run the politicians, but we won't. We'll just bitch about it, and do absolutely nothing. Like I said, you want to organize? I'll be the Jimmy Hoffa for the trucking industry. I don't care. I would die for my country. I would die for my truck. I'll die for my wife, for my family, for my brothers, my little puppy dog, Mr. Clyde. So I found it very gross, very, very gross that this young black man was smashing on immigrants and foreigners, and people that say that they come here. And I know the government does, give them a lot of people, a lot of illegals, if you will. I know they give them a lot of money or whatever the case is, healthcare, stuff like that. Oh, well, and here's another thing. The reason why the government wants foreigners to be entrepreneurs in this country, whether it's trucking or whatever, they want and they need foreigners and immigrants to become U.S. citizens and have businesses, because they will pay their taxes. And I just left my accountant, so that's what really, after Clyde told me we should be doing a video, thinking about how many foreigners and immigrants I have relied on in my life. My brother Jose, Dimitri, our accountant, and it really just kind of was like, man, that's really true. But they want and need immigrants and foreigners to be entrepreneurs here in America, because they know they're going to pay their taxes. The government, they say that like 60 or 70% of the country actually pays taxes. The other 30 to 40% don't, and that's every year, year after year after year. So they know that if you're here as a foreigner, you're here and you have the possibility, or you're risking being deported back to your country, You're going to pay your taxes. You are going to pay your taxes, or you're going to leave this great country. So that's why the government, the U.S. government, needs and wants foreigners and immigrants to come to this country, because they know they're going to get their tax money. If I don't pay my taxes, or if you're American and you don't pay your taxes, what are they going to do? Just send you some letters? Hey, you owe us this much, and then, I mean, shit. I know my cousin. He owes like $1 million, and he's not. He thought he was going to go to prison a couple times, but he's not deported, right? He's from America. He's not in jail. He should be actually in jail or prison, something like that. But yeah, that's the power of being an immigrant or a foreigner. That the power over you that the U.S. has is pretty amazing. So yeah, that's why they're pushing these people to do and become entrepreneurs and so on and so forth. They need that. They want that. So stop with the just the hate and the nonsense and the banter, and it's just, I mean, we're all fodder. I mean, it doesn't matter. But the thing is, hedo mata, hedo fada. Here I am at Camp Granada. What's up, buddy? Daddy, baby boy. Anyways, I'm done yapping. I'm home. And, but yeah, just stop, man. Just stop. And if truckers really wanted to make a difference, we would band together. Please like and subscribe to the channel. What do we say, Clyde? Ciao.